Can you tell me why we would have chosen Tyr?
Look, man, I get what you're getting at. It's for the same reasons. But the way I look at it...
What skills do you possess that we might find benefit in?
I guess we'll see. We'll find out then. The way I look at it, I was chosen for a reason. I put together this crew, but the only part outside of you all was me. I was the only other one that was specifically sought out. So I felt it was not right of me to let that man be separated from his kin. They're the only thing that each other have. And this may sound cheesy or corny or however you want to say it, but I think everything we're right here where we are right now for a reason. And I chose to stand up and take that onto my shoulders rather than letting somebody else fight this fight for me.
He's sitting down?
Yes.
Okay.
He's kind of got his elbows up on his knees, with his knees up in that kind of stance.
How tall is he?
Average height. He's like 5'10", 5'11"-ish.
Laji's gonna walk up and kind of kneel closely in front of him and do like the whole, he's gonna grab the back of his head and place their foreheads together, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And look him dead in the face and say, "Then you stay close to me. Because if something happens to you, how do you think Tyr would feel knowing what you did?"
I know he'd feel awful.
When danger comes, you get behind. I kill.
Misty-eyed, he just nods in response.
Laji stands up and walks away. Back into the hut.
Beautiful. I love it. Does anyone else have any business they'd like to address before the night ends?
Yeah, I think I want to kind of see how this plays out a little bit first before I start asking more questions.
Gotcha. Okay, so by that, do you mean watching the interaction between Laji and Kieran, or just sitting on the situation in total?
I meant sitting on the situation in total, sorry.
No, perfect. I just wanted to know what to expect,
Yeah.
So... Oh, you were perfect, Bucky. I will relate. Bucky says that he wanted to shake the captain's hand and welcome him to the crew. Bucky is having mic problems. Kieran stands for you to shake it when you offer his hand to him, and he says in response to your welcoming him to the crew, "Thank you. I hope I can live up to your expectations. That's what I'm aiming for myself." So, first thing in the morning, as the sun begins to rise, some of you are roused by the sunlight filtering through the trees, hitting your faces. It's probably about 7 or 8 a.m., and the first of you that is up will notice very clearly that in front of Sage's hut that he has built, in front of the door is this chest. And in the chest is the items we discussed last time, as well as a note, stuck to the top with a pocket knife, a small knife. And on that note, it says, "Your ship waits for you in the bay. I crafted it over the last 20-some odd years. I'd hoped to escape one day, but I see now that you need it much more than I do. Just take care of her and she'll take care of you. Please take it and have the best of luck on the Opal Sea. I do hope it meets your expectations. Take these as a kind of farewell gift from me, something to even the odds in your journey. You'll need it. Signed, Sage."
So we no longer are able. The old man's gone.
He is not currently in his hut, correct?
That's the end of the tutorial.
Damn, I was legit about to be going and grabbing this old fucker and bringing him with us.
I mean, you can look for him if you'd like. There's nothing to say that he's, like, vanished. He's just not in his hut currently.
I'm gonna go.
Then I will look for him. Yeah.
I'm gonna go look by the grave.
That's actually a really good idea.
It is.
But I don't
indeed.
think Bucky should go by himself, nor should he be in front.
Laji, would you like to come with me?
Absolutely.
So you do easily track this path now that it's daytime. And the last time you did it was just 6 or 8 hours ago. Up to this gravesite where you do find Sage sat in front of the unmarked flat stone that is being used as a marker. He sat cross-legged, kind of almost in a meditative stance.
So he's just sitting there meditating.
Yes.
Laji sits beside him and lays his axe on the ground. Silently. Just gonna sit there and wait.
Without opening his eyes, his hands clasped together in his lap. After a few moments, he says, "I recognize that that's a grand gesture coming from you."
You know we can't leave you here, right?
"I know you don't want to, but I belong here. This is
I
my
don't think
home."
anyone belongs. No one belongs here. It's a fucking island. In the middle of anything, nothing, everything. Who the hell knows?
Well,
Come adventure with us. At least have a little fun before the end.
And
Don't just
Sage,
lay down and die.
and Sage, over the past 20 years, you have been building yourself a new, beautiful home. Come live in it with us.
Do you really mean to just sit on this island and give up? After an opportunity like this falls in your lap, you would just watch it go, taking the only hope you had with it? That doesn't seem like some sort of fucking life I would like to live.
You see a smile cross his lips, and and he says, "Well, if I leave here, who's going to tend after my wife's grave? I can't just leave her alone on this island."
He is tended to. Do not worry. The afterlife is seeing to that. All that's under the ground now is a lifeless corpse. And trust me, I've seen many of those.
um,
Can
Lodge, go ahead, Bucky. Say it.
can I look around for any wildlife real quick?
Yeah. I don't. Uh, let's see. So just make a perception check for me.
That is a 16.
16. Okay. There are definitely various forms of flora and fauna about. Some of them are wild and fantastical, and some of them are normal, but then they are very large or very small. It's all different colors of furs and patterns as well. But what you see uh, the most close to you are a small family of three Almirage. Um, I'm going to copy that image and paste it just in case anyone does not know what those guys look like. It will be in general.
Thank you, because I definitely do not. Oh my god, it's so
Oh, that is
cute.
adorable.
Yes, there are very, very closely, almost watching the this conversation happen, are a family of three Almirage. The biggest one slightly smaller than it, and then one that is obviously the child.
Okay. I would like to cast Speak with Animals on myself, and I would like to have a little conversation with them real quick.
Right.
Awesome, go for it.
All right, so Bucky's gonna kind of lean towards them, and he's gonna kneel down. He's gonna go, "Hello, my friends. I mean you no harm. My name is Bucky, and I just have a request of you. This man is going through a lot, and this little site next to him here, and he gestures over. This means a lot to him, and he wants it to be protected. Is there any way that you could somehow watch this area from time to time?"
Uh, the medium-sized one speaks to you almost immediately in response, almost not even letting you finish your sentence. And she says to you, "Well, I think we can definitely take care of that. Between us and all the other denizens of this island, I think that's something that we can do. I think we can do that easy." And then the larger one, "Meredith, why I done? We can't just do every little." And then she responds back, cutting him off. "It's the least that we can do. That man has been here feeding us, making this island prosper for forever, as long as I can remember." The larger one says back to her, or excuse me, looks at her silently and then says back to you, "Yeah, that's something we can do. We'll get it taken care of as long as it's for him."
Thank you, my friends. We will leave a gesture of thanks in the shack. Would you prefer crab or seahorse?
uh, the the mother Meredith says, "Well, actually, I'm watching my figure right now, so I mean, like, if you've got any Jerry, what are those things called? The big yellowy orangey carrots, Meredith? Yeah, carrots. I love carrots. We don't get them around here too often. We don't really do the whole meat thing, but I appreciate that offer.
All right, Meredith. I'll see what we will do. What we can do. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Um, so with that, Laji, will you with advantage make a persuasion check?
With advantage.
Yes. Because Sage has overheard this conversation.
The animals?
Yes,
Fuck yeah. You said persuasion, right?
correct.
15 and 6. So 15.
So Sage puts one hand on the ground, palm down, and kind of almost like a tripod, pops one of his legs up behind him and very slowly gets to his feet. And as he begins to shuffle away, he says, "Well, I suppose it would do me some good to get off this island. I'll come along until we find somewhere better for me to be, somewhere where I'm not alone. How about that?"
Sounds
If
good to
you're with
me.
us, you won't be alone.
Well, that's a fair point, but I'm too old to be adventuring. I'll come with you, get off this island, but I'm too old to be running around and doing whatever it's going to take to get to y'all's in destination.
All right.
Old
I
man,
mean,
if I have to, I will carry you wherever we must go.
Sage, it honestly wouldn't hurt for us to have someone on board to keep check of supplies, but if you insist.
Well, how about you all go gather the rest of your crew and anything you might want to be taking with you, and come meet me back here, and I'll lead you to where I got her parked.
I want to make an inside check.
Go for it. What particularly are you looking for with this insight check?
I'm looking to see if he's gonna actually like. I want to know if I can discern whether or not he's gonna be here when we get back.
Excuse me, gotcha. Go for it.
That is a 19 plus 2, 21. What do I get?
He seems very honest and genuine in this act. As far as you can tell, he's his intentions are pure and true.
Okay. Cool. And we'll go gather the rest of the crew. I trust the 21 roll.
Me too.
Awesome.
Joke's on you, it was a 22, you needed fucker. Alright. Gather the crew.
So, unless there's anything in particular that you guys are, that was just kind of a hard cut thing. You don't have to actually go through any specific trouble to gather the crew.
Okay.
So we were able to gather the crew and then return.
Yes.
All right.
So following Sage as he makes his way through the forest, you cross the island almost entirely, and it takes most of the day actually. You know, you were up and at 'em at like 7 or 8, and then spoke to Sage, and it couldn't have been any later than 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. By that point, by the point that you get back to him, it's probably the better part of like 5 p.m. And it's not necessarily because the island is huge. Once you start getting deep into this island, it is dense forest. It is overgrown, neon leaf colored plants. The trees are 120 feet tall, easy. This canopy towers above your head, barely any light getting through, until eventually you break the tree line. And in this crescent moon shaped bay, there is a rickety, very clearly handmade dock that leads out to a large sloop style ship that is made almost entirely of this kind of lavender. No, it's a little deeper than lavender. This kind of eggplant colored wood that has these like palm wood accents on it, and it looks very similar to the Lone Star, but it is a bit sleeker, and it looks like it was built more for speed than long long excursions.
More of an interceptor than a galleon.
Yes.
Bucky puts his hand on Sage's shoulder and he goes, "That is a beautiful ship. What is her name?"
Well, I felt it only right to name her Mozu after my dearly departed.
May the spirit of Mozu live on.
You see him chuckle to himself as he leads you all down this dock. You climb aboard the ship, and it's in fairly good condition, but it is also clearly, you know, it was made by one guy over a long period of time who wasn't necessarily a shipwright in any, you know, it's got its you know, creaky boards and loose stairs, but it's perfectly serviceable. Below deck there is plenty of room for you to all you know, file into your claim of quarters is what I'm looking for. And there are several empty crates and even a few barrels of a few familiar barrels of wine and grog sat under the deck. And yeah.
Sounds like my kind of party.
So Kieran calls out to everyone at one point as you're kind of going around and about the ship. He basically calls a meeting, and in this meeting he addresses everyone and he says, "Well, from what I know about the sea, which, yeah, admittedly is not as much as I'd like, we should probably wait until morning, again, next morning, to ship out. That being said, I don't know about y'all, but I damn well want to sleep on this ship. I want to sleep I don't know. I want my sea legs back. Y'all don't have to join me, but
An image of Laji grabbing him and tossing him into the water popped in my head as you said that.
feel free to do
Not
anything.
gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
I was
But
gonna
it
say.
just intrusive thoughts.
Every once in a while, we gotta let those win.
So yeah, basically, I am allowing you guys to have some downtime before you actually ship out. If there's anything that you want to do on this island before you know, call it and head out, now would be the time to do so. I actually have a section on downtime activities. If you guys would like for me to, you know, like go through a very technical list of things, that you can do during this downtime. If not, like, I mean, really just anything that your character you think would do in order to prepare for leaving this island.
As
You go ahead.
far as like all of our food and stuff, is that all taken care of? Like we don't need to like say gather more fruit or anything like that?
You probably should, I would say, because what you have is what you salvaged, and you might have a few weeks worth of food. But there's you
Okay.
know there's obviously no telling what could happen at sea. You know,
Yeah.
your
Um
role. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I just was gonna say in that case I want to um gather some of the local fruits to take with us.
Perfect.
Keep him away from
Um,
Hikara.
Before you go, Eode, Bucky goes, "Hey, if you find any carrots, do you mind leaving them in Sage's shack?"
I will definitely keep my eye out for them.
Thank you.
Question DM.
Yes.
I have an idea, and I know that the wording of the spell is limited in its effect. But I was wondering if you would allow protection from good and evil to work to keep fruits from being destroyed by Hikara.
Huh.
She's got to eat too. It's limited to one willing creature in the wording, but I figure it'd be a narrative way to prevent the food from rotting in her presence.
So let me read Hakara's thing
Okay.
because as of now, I don't see why not.
The only problem is it's a up to 10 minutes duration, so
So
my idea here would be to cast it on anything that she might want to eat.
yeah. So I'm gonna say that you have noticed that only like flowering things wilt in her
Okay.
presence. So you've seen Hakara eat some of the island's fruit and it not rot away. It's specifically
Okay.
like flowers is in like daffodils and sunflower, you know?
Okay. Yeah, got you. Okay. I wanted to make sure she wasn't over here starving because all we gathered was fruit.
Oh yeah.
Solid point.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I didn't think about it.
So, Eode, will you give me actually, I think you have a thing about finding and foraging because you're a ranger.
I do not know.
It's okay. Most of us don't know what our characters can do.
For real.
So natural explorer. You find twice as much food while foraging.
Hot damn.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that. Why don't you make a survival check for me?
Okay. Oh, an 11.
11. So take in your the feature of your class in mind. Okay, you are able to gather about a week's worth of edible fruit and vegetables, and you do find some carrots, though they have
Amazing.
turquoise leaves. That's kind of odd. You've never seen that before.
Huh. Must be the native version.
um, okay, so does anybody else have any activities that they'd like to partake in before we really set up to take off?
I do.
What you got for me?
First, I would like to look around the ship for scuttles.
What are scuttles for me?
Scuttles are so you know how like on a ship, on like the top deck, there's like a grate.
Yeah.
Scuttles are little trapdoors that kind of work like grates, but they blend in with the floorboards. So like you can, if you're on the very bottom of the deck and you're being attacked, you can kind of poke up and like stab people from underneath, or you can just climb up.
Yeah, so there are a couple. There are one towards the bow and two back towards the stern.
Cool. Okay. And then I want to spend the rest of the time repairing the stairs and any flooring.
Lodge, you can go grab wood if you would like.
That would be much appreciated, my friend.
Yeah.
And he says that in
That'd be
Orcish
a-
too.
would that be a survival check or a
Yes.
nature?
Either one, whatever you feel is applicable. I think either one is perfectly acceptable.
I'll go survival. 13.
It's a
For
little
gathering wood.
it's a little clumsy, but you are able to find what you think is some durable, strong wood on this island through cast off branches and such. Because the cast off branches from these trees are like as thick as your arm, and you're a
Bet.
big meaty guy, so.
All right, cool. I'll definitely bring all that back to Bucky and assist him in repairing anything that may need it.
Awesome. So, Bucky, you have a carpenter's kit, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Okay. So, Okay, cool. So, how we're gonna do this is you are going to make a survival check and then add 2 to that survival check.
That's a 14.
Cool. It's not terribly hard for you. You are a carpenter by trade. You know ship repair very well. You are able to easily repair the stairs leading up to the wheel. What is there's a specific term, isn't there?
Helm.
The helm. There it is. The helm of the ship. And it's a lot less rickety. You think it'll last you for a good long while, at least until you are able to get to a proper maintenance dock and do a really good one over of the ship of the Mozu. All right,
Perfect.
Akara, you have anything for us?
I would like to I feel like Hakara would like to leave some kind of note or something in the hutch, just in case somebody comes by later and gets stuck.
I like it.
And then I'd probably like to explore the ship a little bit and see what we're working with.
Cool. Anything in particular you're looking for in the ship?
No, just kind of looking around.
Gotcha. So yeah, you are able to explore and get to know the ship very well. This will come in handy in the future. I will make note of that on my end. Cool. Cool, perfect. So, you guys are able to sleep through the night fairly well. Akara, you have been having dreams, but you notice that the night is relatively dreamless. You not in any specific. You have a nice restful night's sleep. And first thing in the morning, you all hear, are some of you are even awoken by the sound of Kieran calling orders. Preparing to set sail. Right as the sun begins to shine. As soon as you guys have enough light, he's ready to go. He is up and raring. As you all prepare to set sail, you see the sail unfurl and catch the wind, and you begin to move. Your sailing is relatively uneventful for the first couple of days. You're sailing for 2 or 3 days, and word has gone around that Sage has been talking to everyone as much as he can about the Feywilds and what he knows about the Feywilds and what he knows about the sea in the Feywilds specifically. And what you're gathering is that basically travel is not a guaranteed thing. There are no concrete distances. Something that could take a day to travel one day could take 3 hours the next. And vice versa, all around, any way that you can think of it. There is no set distance or time in the Feywilds. and you have seen plenty of weird variations on sea life as you're sailing. One of which being at one point, probably the second day into your journey, a pod of pale pink dolphins with runic symbols that glow almost like neon light on their sides are playing and hunting around your ship for several hours. On the third day, you see in the sky bubbles. They just begin to form and fall, and like bubbles, excuse me, bubbles like you're blowing bubbles with a bubble wand, you know. And were you saying something, Kakar?
I don't know if it's just I had, but it sounded like you cut off. Was it just mine, you guys?
I heard him. I heard him clearly the whole time.
Okay,
Yeah, I
it was
heard
just
them.
mine then. I just wanted to make sure.
Okay, cool. No,
Sorry.
yeah, I'd rather you stop and make sure everybody's hearing everything. So,
Sorry, couple ones.
yes. So these like soap bubbles of all different sizes, ranging from like the size of an egg to the size of a large boulder, are falling from the sky, and on the ship you see giggling pixie children running around and flying around as well, popping the bubbles, and giggling and running and playing with each other, phasing in and out of visibility.
I don't like that.
I feel like Hikara would probably be very excited to see this kind of stuff. Almost like a childlike wonder.
Laji would be observing how Sage reacts to these things to know if they're a danger or not.
Currently, to the pixie children, Sage is just kind of watching with a small smile. Nothing is really like phasing him so far.
Okay.
I just gotta say, Laji and Bucky think so alike.
By the way, I don't know if you all have done it recently, but you can go ahead and take a long rest because of the last night that you were on the island.
Thank you for reminding me. I may or may not have needed it, but
Well,
take it when I can get it.
everybody's good good off a fresh fresh nice long rest. So a few days pass. Nothing really super eventful happens to the ship. You know, you see all of these events going down. You know, the bubbles falling from the sky and the pink dolphins, and you know, it's all just kind of wild. The biggest thing that it takes getting used to is that the water is blue, like the water where you're from, but it shines in this almost oil slick kind of opalescent way when it hits the light. It's really astonishing to look at. And on the fourth night, Akara, you are... Oh, wrong notes. There we go. You are sleeping and you find yourself dreaming. You are dreaming that you are standing on the deck of the Mozu at night. And all around you on the horizon is fog, preventing you from seeing anything but that fog. And in the fog, far off in the distance, kind of northwest, you see a slowly blinking, kind of yellowy orange, just light, little light orb that kind of comes in and out far off in the distance. And that is the extent of your dream.
May I ask, because I was part of like the navigation a little bit, would I be able to tell where this light was?
Yes, it is. It was coming directly from northwest of where you were in your dream.
Okay. So I would probably relay this to everyone and let them know that that's probably stop.
So that next morning, you do. After, or would you like to roleplay that as well? Sorry, I need to give you that opportunity.
No, you're fine. I don't think so.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
We didn't even talk about positions. Who is the helmsman? I assume it's me, but I just need to ask.
Yeah. If you guys would like to go ahead and like, you know, really define that, please go ahead.
I feel like it would be best if it.
Okay. And I would probably have one person to help me man the sails. Would anybody like to opt in for that? If not, I have an idea.
I think I get your idea.
If we wanted to not be a player, I was gonna say Clarion, but if it was gonna be a player, I would probably say Logi for your strength.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Hell yeah.
Laji wouldn't really have much else to do.
So in the aspect of kind of almost slightly role playing it, I guess I would run up to Bucky the next morning, and let him know what I dreamed, and let him know that I feel like we should turn the boat this specific way, and stop at this.
Thank you, Hikara. We will chart course right now.
So with that in mind, you guys, you know, chart course and are able to relatively easily set up set up your general direction and heading. That morning, that fourth, I think fifth. We're on fifth this morning, actually. Fifth morning, you all have a meager but filling, delicious meal for breakfast, and then just as soon as you've had breakfast, lunch comes and goes, and then so too does dinner. When Finn isn't cooking and prepping the food, he's just generally taking care of things around the ship. He's a big guy. He's helping with the sails and such. At one point, Kieran and Finn call over Bucky and Hikara, and anyone who would like to interact or be involved in the conversation can, but those are who they called over. And Kieran, Kieran says, "Well, we've got no maps, and our best guess to finding something is just a sail till we find the next isle, apparently. Sage warned us that this would be dangerous and hard, but, you know, I guess just keep your wits about you. I mean, any updates that you all would have for us?"
Well, I told Bucky yesterday to set sail towards somewhere I saw in my dream, which I hope is the port.
His mouth falls open slightly. And do you do this often?
Do what?
Travel on the whims of a dream?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
So, alright. He says and turns heel, rubbing his eye with the palm of his hand as he walks away.
I would turn and look at Bucky and just be like, I wonder what's wrong with him.
Finn's still standing there. Well, it's a lot to take in, and he's trying his best, but he's really not, very prepared for this. I think he thinks he's got to take it all on his own shoulders, and, he's just having a hard time.
Okay, my friend, you're just gonna have to trust us, and especially Hakara. Her dream helped us make that portal.
Right, well, I get it. I really do. I trust you completely, honestly. Yeah. We are running low on fruit, though, so I do hope that we, at some point soon, kind of, are able to restock some of our fresh goods, because after a while it's going to be hardtack and dried meat,
I definitely understand. I am very sure that we are coming across a port very soon.
Right, well, I trust you. So you are... That conversation ends, and you all are sailing. Sleep through the night one more good night, and about lunchtime the next day, trouble begins to brew. Soon after your meal, this one being of hardtack and horse meat, some dried fruit slivers, some dried melon slivers, a dark storm cloud begins to fill the sky, and the sea on the horizon begins to rise in every direction, forming what seems to be a huge wave. All around you, walls of water spout forth, and geysers and water spouts begin to froth all around you, and the ship begins to rock violently. This escalates very quickly, as there's a multitude of sea life jumping out of the water and up the surface of the massive wave, almost like salmon upstream, and the smell of ozone is live in the air as lightning crackles, followed by a loud boom of thunder that becomes a chorus in the air, and a massive whirlpool opens up nearby on the sea, not far out from the ship. Right now, what we're going to do is something I like from 4th edition, called a skill challenge. Basically, what happens is the skill challenge is a set of challenges in which you can either come up with or respond to problems created by me. And each time you succeed or fail, it's marked down. Once a total number of failures or successes are reached, the challenge is over and events proceed depending on how it turned out.
Badass.
Okay.
It's a quick time event.
Yes, basically, yeah.
It's a D&D quick time event. I love it.
So the way that I would like to execute this is I'm not going to make you roll initiative. but I'm going to say do go in whatever order you want, but do your one thing and then hand it off to the next person. And so, does anyone want to start? Or I have a couple of things that I can give you if you would like me to start it off. So one thing, as the storm begins, this sea life is kind of jumping up and out of the water. These dolphins and sharks, even some of them, the sharks are more armored looking. A marlin, this like neon pink marlin. Its long pointed nose. I think I'm thinking of the right fish. Anyways,
Looks like a swordfish, kind
yeah,
of.
catches a sail as it flies on past, giving a rip in one of the sails.
Yep, there was my first idea.
Who is closest to Bucky right now?
I'm gonna say probably Laji, Kieran, Finn. They're all within maybe 10 feet.
Okay. Bucky shouts, Laji, grab the helm! And Bucky is gonna leap towards the sail, and I'm gonna cast Mending on it if I can grab it.
Oh yes,
Oh,
perfect.
nice.
So why don't you make an acrobatics check for me? Or if you'd like, it could be athletics. It's totally up to you.
Either way, it's a nat 20, so I'm gonna pick acrobatics. We're gonna say 25.
Nice. So go ahead and give the flavor for how you pull this off. I think with a 25 nat 20 acrobatics, you can really get your flourish on with how you execute this.
So Laji is gonna grab onto the helm on the right side and kind of pull it up and down real quick so I can step on one of the notches and launch up into the air. And I'm gonna, just for
Ooh.
the fun, kind of do like a 360 spin. And he's gonna grab onto the sail and like slam dunking a basketball. He's just gonna swish. Well, actually, he's gonna grab onto it because it takes about a minute for mending. But he grabs onto it and kind of puts his hand on the top of the rip, slides down to the bottom, and it kind of catches him. It tears just like maybe an inch more with his weight, but then he starts patching it all up.
I love it. That's perfect. All right, that was a success. Obviously. Who would like to go next? I have several scenarios. So one thing that's happening is you had some crates on the deck of the ship with some supplies in them, and they're sliding all about. They're not really the secure what where they were secured. The storm has knocked them loose, and on top of that, there are damaged ropes leading to the sails and rigging that have been cut and severed by the various sea life that have hit the deck and come flying across and through your space. These are a few problems you have going on.
Question.
Yes.
Do we have our like stuff that's in our backpacks on us?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to tackle the crates with the broken rope because I have fresh rope in my bag.
Oh, perfect. Why don't you go ahead and make a survival check for me to at advantage because you're coastal to tie off these ropes.
Okay. Um an 11.
Oh, perfect. Believe it or not, you hit the DC. So moving quickly, you are able to in your haste in the storm, it's a little hard to get your wits about you, but you are able to kind of get these couple of crates of the dried meat that you guys had gathered and dried fruits, and get them tied down in a nice ship knot. I don't know the names of knots. You secure the crates of food down very well.
Awesome.
What else did you say needed to be done?
So there are some damage to the rigging ropes, as well as just anything you can think of. Anything that you would like to do to further escaping this storm right now. There's
Is everyone on board currently? Has anyone gone overboard?
not as of yet.
Uh-huh. Bad. I don't like that word. We'll see what happens, I guess.
So,
In what direction is the wind blowing? What's the word I'm looking for? In reference to the ship.
northeast.
Is it pushing us? Forward, backwards?
Forward.
Okay, cool.
I also have some rope. 50 feet of it. Would that fix the rope that needs to be fixed?
Yeah, if you can tie it off, you would need to do a survival check for me.
While she does the survival check, being that I use some of my rope, do I need to take it out of my backpack?
Yes.
Okay.
I got a 19.
19 is good. That does it. So there are a few ropes leading up to the sails that Bucky has repaired that are just flailing violently as they've been snapped just by the tension and the great rocking of the ship. And you are able to, in your sure footing, able to run over and secure this whipping rope as it smacks you in the chest, and tie off several of these ropes very easily.
Okay.
That is a success.
Being that I'm currently at the helm, I'm sort of an inactive member in this.
well, I was gonna say, you currently have the helm, so would you like to, and don't let me put words in your mouth, would you like to maybe make like a strength check to steer the ship straight and true for me?
Yeah, sure, actually. With the wind blowing, it would be a little difficult to ensure that it's going in the correct direction. We definitely don't want the ship to get broadsided by the wind. Shit. Just a general strength check.
Yes. Anything that you think you could apply to it, though, like, if you say athletics, that would make sense to me because you're, shifting your body in a way to really pull against the tides and the wind.
Fair. I'll go with that. 9 plus 6, 15.
Jesus. Oh, yeah, that's right. You have a 19 strength right now. I was like, a +6 at level 2? Oh, wait, I did this.
It's your fucking fault.
So, the helm, the wheel, you can feel it groaning and creaking as you push all of your might into it, and you can feel your arms flex, like steel cables, your muscles under your skin, as you kind of force the wheel back towards northwest, where you know you should be heading, we have succeeded in this skill challenge. As anticlimactic as it is, this storm is just kind of gone as soon as as quick as it came, it passes. You weren't in the storm maybe 20 minutes. The gentle breeze begins to settle in, and night is quickly approaching. Finn begins to dole out dinner, and without a map or any true way to navigate, you guys are kind of left on the open ocean. This night, Hikara, you have another dream. You are again standing on the deck of the Mozu. You are staring into the distance, admiring the night sky, when suddenly the head of a horse emerges from the water. Soon, quickly behind it, the upper half of a horse with wings, colorful wings, rainbow-colored feathers on its wings emerges. As more of its body comes out of the water, its wings flapping and rising up to eye level, you see that its lower body is that of a fish. And it hovers in front of you, a few feet away, as you eat an orange. The horse smiles at you and then shoots a spout of water from its mouth into your face. It neighs playfully and dives into the ocean again. Its wings emerge from the water almost like a shark fin, and it quickly darts off away from the ship towards the horizon. Towards the horizon, where you again see a pulsing yellow-orange light in the distance, this time much closer. And it seems to call to you, striking a deep longing to pursue. You then awaken from the dream. I will say, during the day, you can still feel the calling from the direction of the glowing light that you saw in your dreams.
Feel like I would let Bucky know that we are still on the right path and that we are almost where we need to be. And may I ask, since I still feel the pulse and the pull and things like that, would I be able to feel that during the day, like as we get closer it gets stronger?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So then I would definitely let Bucky know that. At the very least.
So, Bucky, you are told by Hikara that you are following the right course. Hikara, how much do you share about your pull, the feel of your pull?
That part I probably wouldn't share a whole lot about.
Okay. That's perfectly fine.
Thank you, Hikara. Good to know that we're headed in the right direction.
And speaking on being headed in the right direction, it's not even lunchtime before on the horizon you see land. It, from a distance, looks like a busy port town, complete with some stone brick buildings and a crumbling lighthouse. The lamp room of the lighthouse is in bad disrepair, and no light could be feasibly cast from it. The landing is exposed, and large chunks of stone are falling away, making it structurally unsound. You can tell this as you get closer and closer. What you see when you get close enough to dock is that the docks here can easily allow for your ship to fully dock, and anchor your main ship at the docks. from this viewpoint, you can see that there are a few other ships, well, one smaller and one larger, docking currently or at the docks. There's about 14 people moving about the docks, the 4 different docks. And you have an option of docking at any of the 4 open docks out of the total 6 docks.
Is one of them a dry dock?
Sorry?
Is one of them a dry dock?
Yes. Yeah. So you guys are able to dock at any dock that you would like. It is at this point that we can shift to the battle map if everyone would like to do so.
I need to find it. Hoopla.
I'm glad you like him. I figured you guys were gonna take him with you. I needed to have a proper, you needed to have a proper image of him. Is everybody finding the Roll20 okay?
Gotta make an account, but yes.
Oh, my bad. I didn't even think to have everyone make an account beforehand.
It's okay. It didn't take long. I started making the account when you mentioned it, and I'm done already, so it's
Okay,
not a
cool.
huge problem.
Yep, I'm all logged in now.
Perfect.
So once we log in, excuse me, do we hit launch game?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good.
All in. Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you've had your account on this since 2016, Kane?
Yeah, I've been playing D&D for a long time.
Yeah, you've been on active hours or 45. So, yeah. Fuck.
And that's just what I've played on Roll20.
I'm sure there's other programs you've probably used.
Mostly just Discord.
Hmm.
But it really does help to have a map. So I think I just moved you guys to the active map.
Looks like we just pulled up at a port.
Yes, perfect. So if you see your little tokens, you should have the ability to control and move them around.
Oh snap, that's so cool.
Oh, you didn't want me to go swimming?
No, you can. I just thought that because I was also moving them, so I thought I did something accidentally.
Oh, this is so cool.
So in this map, one block is 5 feet. And Akara, you're still on the ship. You're
How
good.
do I make the fucking chat thing go away?
I don't know that there's a way to. I moved mine off in the corner.
I hit this.
I'm on my phone, so like the chat thing takes up the whole screen. I can't see anything.
Oh my god, jeez.
Turning it landscape mode made it a little bit better.
I think that should have fixed it. Hopefully, we'll see. Let me reload the page. Does not seem that that fixed it. Fuck. That is very annoying.
I did it.
Oh, perfect.
It's gone.
Awesome. So, back to the story. You guys are pulling up to the dock when you see what appears to be this kind of like bubbling, gurgling coming from the water in between the docks. And this guy jumps up on the docks. Well, as this guy jumps up on the docks. And we are going to roll for initiative.
30, 20, 16 plus 4. As soon as you said bubbling, I rolled.
I love it. Okay.
I'm having
20.
trouble actually doing anything, so
30, 20.
Jesus Christ.
hold on.
Yeah,
let me roll
I got
mine.
a 23 with
Come
mine.
on, Logi, give us your 20.
It's gonna be a fucking one. I can feel it. I could just feel it in my bones if the D&D Beyond will load. I want to roll there. Had pretty good luck here, at least. Initiative. 16 total.
Okay, perfect. So, most dexterous is Eode. Then next up,
Yeah.
Bucky. And then, Hakara. What is your dex mod?
1
Okay, yeah, so you would be.
plus 1.
And then Laji, and then okay. Eode, you were up first as these like weird tentacle monster things, spiny tentacle monster fishmen things, pop out of the water and begin to terrorize the docks. People are running and fleeing.
Okay. Can I move diagonally on this or not?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And you said each one is 5 feet?
Correct.
Okay. And I'm gonna 1, 2, 3. So 15 feet. And then I'm going to attack with can you remind me one more time the difference between my give and my take?
So, give when you hit a monster, you can expend a charge to give everyone that you choose around you up to a certain number. Uh, what is the term for it? Temporary hit points. And
Okay.
take makes everything within a certain radius after you hit take 2d6 necrotic damage, and 2d6 temporary hit points is give.
Okay. In that case, I want to use take, and I want to attack the bluish green one.
So the more tentacly one.
Yeah.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll that damage for me. Or roll that attack for me.
Okay. Fuck! I got a 1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So a 1 does miss, but you do have the option of following up with your bonus action attack.
Oh, yeah! Okay, am I able to make 2 attacks with my take, or does it have to be a different weapon?
Typically it's with your offhand that you make your second weapon, so yeah. It would be a different weapon.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna use give with my second hand.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll that attack for me.
11.
That hits.
Amazing.
Go ahead and roll that damage for me. Are you going to use the ability of give?
Yes. And I got a 6.
Perfect. So you slash at this thing, this like blue-green thing that has kind of scaly, gill-like, flappy appendages all over its body, and it makes this kind of odd gurgling noise as you catch what appears to be a stitch on its body, and one of its tentacles kind of slacks a little bit. So far as your temporary hit points, do you want to roll the 2d6 or should I?
Go for it.
Okay. So, 9 temporary hit points. You get 9 temporary hit points.
Nice.
So the way that temporary hit points work is when you take damage, you will knock it off of your temporary hit points before you start knocking it off of your regular hit points.
Okay, awesome.
Bucky, you're up.
All right, so I need you to make a wisdom save, and I'm gonna give you a warning. I already rolled the damage. You don't want to succeed, or you don't want to fail.
Both of them?
Just one. It's gonna be the one closer to the ship.
Okay, cool. The blue-green tentacly guy. Wisdom save?
Yep.
Okay, he's bad at that. Does a 5 save?
Absolutely not. So Bucky kind of run towards the bow of the ship, and it looks like he's like screaming at this thing. But I'm casting. It is called Dissonant Whispers, and the only the creature that I'm targeting can hear it. It is a discordant melody, and he takes 11 damage. And if he has a bonus action, he has to use it to make maximum movement in the opposite direction of me.
Oh, okay. During his turn or immediately?
Immediately. Well, I think it doesn't really specify. I don't know if you want to read it real quick. It just says it takes the damage and must use its bonus action. It doesn't say like.
Okay, cool. It must immediately. So, what is its movement speed? Where's your movement speed, buddy? Okay, there we go.
I have to thank a special set of dice that I named the Sparkle Fart dice. It's the only one that got a 6.
Okay. So this guy just screeches, and yet let me make sure that's 30 feet. Or 20 feet, rather. Yeah, screeches, and it's very concerning, considering that Bucky, that Bucky seemed to not be saying anything, and it just, like, ran. Alright. Where is the initiative order? Hakara, it is your turn.
One second. Okay. Sorry, my mom FaceTimed me.
Oh, you're good.
She got this giant lamb chop at Sam's Club, and Ollie has it playing with it.
We need to get one for Biscuit.
She is. Okay.
So the blue-green guy that's on the second dock has already taken damage, and the spiky guy has not, and is, I think, about 10 feet away from. Yeah, 10 feet away from Eode and 20 from Bucky.
Okay.
35 from you. 40 from Laji.
I want to go for Ice Knife.
Ooh, okay.
So I'm gonna fling a shard of ice at it. It's 60 feet, so it should be able to at least reach it.
Yeah, I think you can hit either of them with 60 feet, honestly.
I think I'm gonna hit the one that's closest to Eode, because in my mind right now, that's the one that's the most
Threat.
Yes.
Yeah, sounds good. You roll an attack or I roll a save? I can't remember for Ice Knife.
I roll an attack.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh my god.
4. That's so exciting.
So go ahead and roll double your damage die.
Okay, so it's gonna be 2d10.
Please tell me total.
10.
Okay, that was weird.
It was 2d10 and they both got 5s.
Perfect.
And then I need a dex save from that creature.
A dex save?
Yes, because what happens is on a hit, the target takes 1d10 or 2 in my nat 20 piercing damage. Hit or miss, the shard then explodes. To succeed on a dex saving throw, or The target and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dex throw, or take 2d6 cold damage.
Okay, so Eode is good. The other one was not close enough. So go ahead and roll your 2d6.
Okay. That is an 8.
Jesus Christ. Druids are broken. Cool. Laji, that brings it around to your turn.
Sweet. How far away is this fucking?
The closest one to you is 40 feet, and the furthest one is 55 feet.
Okay. Are you able to actively move my character for me? Because
Yes.
I'm having trouble figuring that out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can take care of that, definitely.
Being that I'm on mobile, it's a little difficult.
Can you ping like that?
Hold on. It's a little weird, but I can.
Well, yeah, let's just, where do you want to move to?
How far away is Eode from me?
Exactly 30.
Perfect. I'm gonna get up beside her.
Cool.
And nothing is within range of me to attack.
Select. There we go. Right about there.
Yes, that works. Nothing is in range for me to attack. But what is the range of everyone else at this point from me? Is everyone within 30 feet of myself?
I'm 10 feet.
Let me see.
You're definitely.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love that you can do that.
Yeah, no, it's great.
So I'm gonna cast Bless on everybody.
Ooh, I like it.
So
What's that do?
whenever anyone from this point forward for up to 1 minute makes an attack roll or a saving throw, add a D4 to it.
Ooh. I like.
Damn, that's a good spell.
And that is a full action, so that is my turn.
Cool. That is a damn good turn.
Yep. So make sure when you roll to hit, add a D4 to it.
And that lasts for fucking ever in combat time. A minute in combat time is like 10 rounds.
Yeah.
All right. So, Bucky, is your effect continual on Dissonant Whispers?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. So, Tentacle Guy makes some horrific gurgling noises and does this kind of standing leap across the docks here. Yeah, there it is. And it is going to thrash out at Eode. +5 to hit. Does a 12 hit, Eode?
No.
Okay.
Damn, with a +5, that's a low roll.
Yeah. Strike. Does a dirty 20 hit?
Yes.
And Laji, does a 21 hit?
It does.
Okay. So it thrashes out with its tentacles, missing the first time, and then smacking one of you each an additional time. You both take 4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and you said that comes off of my temp?
Yes, that comes off your temporary
Okay.
first.
Okay.
Hey. With that done, Spiky Spiny guy is going to if I can find the right thing. Charge up beside his friend. Well, he starts here. Let me measure this. Yeah, so Bucky, this spiky spiny guy, takes off charging, jumps up the ship, and runs past you, giving you an opportunity attack.
Absolutely.
Roll a d4 with it.
So what do I roll for an opportunity attack?
Just whatever melee that you have, whether it be sword, club, whatever, you'll roll it, and plus your regular modifier. So you know it does take your reaction to do an opportunity attack, so just keep that in mind when you do it.
Okay. Two plus 1 plus 3, that is 6.
To hit?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, to hit is 11.
11 hits. So you said that was 6 damage?
Yeah.
Cool. You slash this guy. Pretty good.
Thank you for that D4, Laji.
Helps.
Literally, that D4 made it. Akara does a 17 hit.
Yep.
Does a 6 hit.
No.
And does a 15 hit.
Yes.
Okay. So you will take 9 total damage, bludgeoning, and you are grappled. Eode, it is your turn.
Okay. I think I'm going to hold on, let me check something about my scimitars. 5 feet. Okay. So then if I move over here and use my scimitar, that protects Laji, correct? Because it's within 5 feet of the target.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to move there, and then I'm going to use take.
Okay, go ahead and roll that damage for me. Also, you don't have to expend or attack for me. You don't have to expend charges. Just so you know, like you can just use them as regular swords.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm going to use a charge this time
Yeah.
because I got a nat 20, and with a modifier, it's 25.
Oof. Yeah. Go ahead and roll your. I believe it's 2d6 for this. Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
11, and then do I also do a 4 on top of that?
No. The
4
2d6 is
for a hit.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
You're referring to the D4 I added to you?
Yeah.
That's for a hit. That'd be
Yeah.
added to your hit roll.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you rolled
Which,
a 20.
with a nat 20, it wouldn't matter.
Well, I was
Yeah.
gonna say if you theoretically could have rolled a 29.
Yeah. But so I rolled 11 damage.
Oof.
That's meaty.
Yeah, it is.
So then after I do take, I also want to use give, but as a regular strike.
Did you roll your additional 2d6 necrotic damage?
I did not.
This thing's about to die.
Okay, my bad. You did it correctly. So it takes 2d6 necrotic damage from the initial slash. That's my bad.
Okay.
And then you want to use
My bonus action to use give,
yes, go
but
for
as
it.
a regular slash.
Yeah. Fuck him up.
Does a 16 hit?
A 16 hits.
All right. And I got 9 damage.
Oof. So you manage to catch this thing again. Like its body is so bloated that it's kind of hard to see, but it's covered in these like patchwork stitch marks, and you manage to catch a good seam on it as this thing just kind of collapses in half almost, like shoulder to hip, as you catch it full on across the chest with your blade.
Very cool.
And this thing falls dead.
Fuck that thing up.
Yeah. Bucky, that means it's your turn.
All right. Not to spam the same attack, but I'm gonna do the dissonant whispers again.
Fuck him up. Do it. Do him dirty.
That is a wisdom save of 13.
A 7 does not save.
All right. 6, a 3, and a 1. That is 10 damage.
Fucking thing's about to be in the water.
This thing's head just explodes.
Oh.
Yeah, its head pops like a like a gross necrotic balloon almost.
So only my target can hear the melody. It's specifically disturbed down with the sickness.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
you're just whispering to them.
Exactly.
So, these two things are kind of, the one is lying on the deck in a pile of gore and viscera. The other has kind of slopped off of the dock as Eode has just kind of given it a severance package.
Quite a nice one too.
Yeah. You all hear cheering. as the crowd that was working the docks, it praises you. A couple of excuse me, a couple of people approach you. One is a sea elf male, and he clasps you on the shoulder, Eode, and says, "Well, that was quite the spectacle."
Why, thanks. I tried to put on a good show.
And that you did. How's about you all come on down over here to I don't even remember what the hell this place is called. The local grog hole, and we'll buy you a drink.
Sounds like a great idea.
Following along behind him is a stone color, like dark stone color skinned goblin, or excuse me, that's the wrong note. Gnome male, and an Eladrin female. She is of the summer variety, so has this kind of shimmering gold skin, and her hair is this like blazing fire color. And yeah, they all turn, and after that, wordlessly kind of head into town.
I'm assuming we all wanted to follow them for a drink.
I'm taking note of something. Two things, in fact. One, you haven't said we're out of initiative order.
You are out of initiative order, my bad.
Two, you haven't cleared the map of that dead body. Okay. I was about to go back there and fuck it up. I didn't care. I was going to go stomp on that dead body.
Make sure it's dead. Dead.
Don't stomp it through the grate.
Hey, ground meat.
Yeah, that's one way to make it.
I don't know that you want this.
I've had sushi before.
You ever had necrotic sushi?
Laji lived in a cave.
I did have food poisoning after.
Oh no, did I not save?
That was cool. I got to jump off a ship and pray.
Yeah, I really do need to make some stronger encounters, huh?
Make me fucking hurt.
I am not gonna overuse that attack. That is like that attack is like 3 times stronger than the rest of my abilities.
Well, it's cool though. I like the imagery of its head just popping with nothing visibly happening.
Right, it's just there bubbles for
you have successfully struck a little fear into Laji.
Hell yeah, roll intimidation.
I am currently uploading a town map. It is a small kind of farming village. There's not a whole lot to it, but there's plenty of houses. The few people that invited you to a drink seem to know their way around very well, even though they seemingly got off of a ship just the same as you, and lead you down this map to this kind of square building that's in front of this, in the middle of this group of buildings, in front of this fountain that is also in front of the 2 side-by-side farming fields. And above the door, there's a sign that has a cartoonized kind of fat sleeping dragon blowing smoke out of its nose in a silhouetted form. And it just says the Noxious Lair above it. in this fancy hand painted sign.
Can I just say the Noxious Lair sounds like absolutely somewhere that I would hang out.
I'm glad. I'm glad I can give you guys cool places to hang out. So inside, these three just find a place to sit. This place isn't too terribly crowded. You know, it's a bar in a small town, so there's some locals, but for the most part, it's just you guys and the other crew. The the sea elf male, who clasped Eod on the back and invited you all over, sits his arms up on this plush leather kind of half circle booth, and his two friends join him on his right side, and he leans across the table, sticking out his hand for a handshake, and he says to no one in particular, "I'm Rarin. Nice to meet y'all."
Bucky takes that hand firmly and goes, "Barnacle Boot Bucky, at your service."
Hell, nice to meet you. Nice jacket you got there. The gnome, in a far more subdued manner, just nods and says, "I'm Delvin." And the Eldrin elf, female, she says, "And I'm Elisa. We're part of the crew of the Geranium. We would have been in quite the pickle if you had not come along and dispatched those things." You notice she says the word "things" with this kind of undertone of disgust. "So, what brings you here to Darrow Island?"
We're just traveling. Stopping in port.
"What do you mean? You don't just travel through? You must have some hell of a ship then, if you're just traveling to travel." Rarin, he has ordered a large tankard and is kind of chugging from it, has already half drained it. And he cuts her off. "Elisa, let them be. They just fucking fought their hearts out. Get them a drink." He calls to the bartender. Delvin, sat in between the two, is quietly picking at some bread that was on the table, and Rarin speaks up again. "People don't just travel through here. It's dangerous, you know. We're just curious. That's all. Don't worry about her." He takes another large swig from his tankard. "Why don't y'all have a seat? Have something to eat. I'm sure you've been on the road for a while."
Interesting choice of words.
"Yeah, well, I used to run caravans, but you know, ship money pays more. Little force of habit, I guess."
What are you drinking there?
"Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I just told him bring me some ale."
I'll join you.
That's a good. Yeah, I like this guy. He raises his hand up to order another drink, and not long after, there's another sea elf guy. He's very tall and lanky. He seems to be the but also like very nondescript features. He's a very average guy. Seems to be the kind of wait staff around here. And a few moments pass, and he comes by with two more tankards. One for Rarin and one for you as well, Logi.
I'm gonna keep up with him.
Oh, perfect. Sounds good. So in between sips, Rarin says, "Those things have been attacking this and other nearby islands. You know, it's kind of it's a frequent thing as of late, and you know, we're just kind of wondering, you know, with such a show of power, what kind of business you could be up to here in this little port town. They deal veggies here. They deal carrots and beets. Not often you see a group of people that know their way around. Know their way around their weapons around here.
Not too many strong warriors in your group.
Yeah, I mean, we got to be able to hold our own sailing the seas, you know. The Opal Sea, she's a cruel mistress.
I want to
To be
ask
honest,
if. Oh, I just wanted to ask if the two like squid people or whatever were the only two causing problems.
Elisa speaks up in answer to your question. No. There have been several reports of those things attacking. Theory is that there's some sea hag, some whatever, that has a taste for expensive items and sends them to steal things. Though they've been reported by pirates, privateers, free agents, merchants, anyone and everyone has been attacked and raided by these things.
Okay, good to know. We'll keep that in mind in our travels.
how successful are you and your people in dispatching these?
This time Rarin responds, "Well, we've been attacked 5 times in the last 2 months, and we lost 3 people. Took down 2 of theirs, but that's out of, Lisa, how many would you say? Probably 12. 12 or so. They usually attack in groups of 2. But there's been a few that attack in groups of 3. Yeah, so, we're able to hold
Sounds
our
like
own.
a skill.
Sorry, go ahead, Logi.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Yeah, well,
Though I think it's fair to assume that you aren't too familiar with these creatures.
No. They have parts that we're familiar with, There's octopus tentacles on them and quillfish spines, and they're usually patchwork.
Did Laji? You said there was like legitimate like stitching on the one body that Eode killed.
Yes.
Would Laji have noticed that stitching?
I think it would have been easy enough to notice, yeah.
It almost looked as if they aren't natural.
Oh yeah, that's the theory. That's why Lisa said that the theory is a sea hag, because they're messing around with their necrotic magics all the time, and he has finished his second tankard and is now digging into a meal that's been dropped off. Just a mound of meat, various meat.
Who was the one that was asking about how sturdy our ship was?
That would have been Elisa.
Elisa? Okay, and is Sage in the room with us?
He is.
Okay.
Kieran and Finn have gone to explore the town.
I'm gonna pull Elisa off to the side so that Sage can't hear us.
Okay.
And he's gonna go, hey, my friend, so I had a question for you. You had mentioned the sturdiness of our ship, and well, while we made it here, she's about as fragile as the one who built her. We need planks. We need some repair wood.
Right. Well, that can be done. We work for a merchant ship, so we may have some supplies. I can't guarantee anything, and you'll probably have to pay a premium. But we should be able to, between the town here and us, be able to figure you out.
Much appreciated.
Yeah, yes, of course. Those of us who are civilized have to stick together in the dangerous wilds.
Now, how are your provisions? I know you're talking just the way of money, but we have plenty of meat to spare if you're, or we have some meat. We're actually, never mind. Actually, you know what? Forget that, because I forgot how long we've been sailing. Forget I said that.
About a week. You have maybe another week's worth of dried meat, but you are pretty much out of fruit.
Yeah, I was gonna offer some food, but retcon that. I did not say that.
Well, bartering is a thing. Um, we're not going to steal your leg. Uh, I mean, perhaps you can exchange a service for what you need. We saw how easily you dispatched those foul beings. Maybe if you go and talk to Wilma, he is the mayor, I guess you would say, of Darrow. You can maybe figure out something. See about doing some tasks for him about around town.
Does she have any rips in her clothing?
She does not. She is actually in a very prim and proper dress. She appears almost like you would imagine a noble to be dressed. Very for the season though. She is in very light clothing. Very flowy tunics.
Oh, nice. Okay. So yes, I'm going to thank her, and then I'm going to share with the crew that we could get in touch with the mayor. You said
Yes, the mayor by the name of Wilmer. Uh,
Wilmer. Yeah.
Wilmur.
The only thing that popped into my head when you said Wilmer was Wilmer.
That's fair. Yeah, it's been rattling around in my head since I'm over here reading my notes. Actually, so Rarin is currently talking with Eulaji. Nothing in particular, just telling stories. Like salty sea dogs do, comparing
Mhm.
comparing battle wounds. Um, Kara, do you have anything?
Um, Not that I can think of yet.
Cool. So the crew. By the way, I don't know if I've said it already, but one of them would say that they are the crew of the Geranium that is docked in the dock. It's the other larger ship out there right now.
How do you spell that?
Sorry.
How do you spell that?
Granium. And you guys at uh, about midday, are you have your lay of the land. The world is your oyster on this island. Is there anything in particular that you would like to do? Look for, etc. on this island. I will remind that on the coast there is on the shoreline rather, there is a dilapidated, old, broken down, lighthouse. Pretty much the top, like, fifth of the lighthouse has been kind of destroyed. Um, the rest of the town is a small farming town. There are a few fountains. Um, there are 4 large crop fields sat kind of in front of the town, in between the docks and the town.
Can we ask the townsfolk about the lighthouse?
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any like particular way you'd like to go about that, or?
Um, he would more or less introduce himself with a bow, maybe take his tricorn off and be like, "Hey, I'm just kind of curious about what you know about the lighthouse."
So, uh, are you like going out onto the street and finding people, or are you asking around in the bar, or asking the crew of the Geranium?
No one specifically. I would start in the bar and then head out into the streets where I could like point and be like, "Hey, like that building. I'm curious."
Okay, so with a general ask, the bartender actually speaks up to you. This tall, lanky, very average sea elf looking guy. And he says, "Well, no one's really sure um, what exactly happened, but word is long ago, this place was a domain, and the archfey that lived here, either in some bout of fury for being a scorned lover, trashed the place and moved on, and that's the only remnant. That's just the legend, though."
Much appreciated. If I go out into the street, do I get the same answer?
It depends. So let's say you are going out into the street, and there are several people walking around. There are a few people tending fields nearby. There's a few kids playing in the fountains. Just the average city life. Is there anyone in particular that you would seek out?
Older folk.
Older folk. So there is uh, an old man. You think uh, he's probably a human, easily in his late 50s, early 60s. And you approach him as he's tending his field, and ask him about the lighthouse, and he responds to you. "Well, my pappy always told me that some grand power, in a fit of rage, destroyed it because someone he hated lived on this island, and he didn't want anyone to ever see that person again. So he made it impossible to get here by breaking down the lighthouse."
Much appreciated.
Yeah, yeah. You look new here. You what you doing in town, son?
Honestly, right now we're just looking for supplies. We're trying to find our way home.
Where's your home?
Um, not here. I don't really have a way to explain it. I'm not too familiar with what's going on, to be honest with you. What I
Y'all,
can tell you is we're not from this world.
y'all slipped over, didn't you? Slipped over from a different plane.
Uh, Possibly. That sounds feasible.
Yeah, son, this is the wilds. That happens all the time. Um, the magic is volatile and all over the place. I'm only here because 4 or 5 generations ago, my my uh, my ancestors, we'll call it. That seems a little odd. The people that came before me, my family, they had slipped over and never found a way back. Uh, you do notice that he is definitely human, and that is odd because around here you're seeing mostly gnomes and the Eldrin elves, the summer, winter, spring, autumn elves, and a few sea elves mixed in.
Okay. And he's 100% human, and how much of his family were the
So
first people?
so far as you can tell, just visually, yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with, son?
If there is, my friend, I will let you know. And he tips his hat and walks away.
He just continues to go about the tending his field.
All right. I'm just gonna ask the fountain to the left, anybody over there, and then I'm done.
Oh yeah, perfect. So there's particular, you notice one older teen, probably 17 or 18, and she's watching what appears to be her younger siblings, maybe kids, you're not really sure, but she's clearly watching two kids play around in the fountain. And you approach her and ask her this question, and she says, "Well, there's a couple of different stories going around. It's one of those island legend kind of things. I don't really know. Well, I don't really believe any of it. I think it's just left over.
That is fair. Would your friends over there know anything? And he gestures towards the children.
I mean, what our grandparents have told them. Same legends they told me.
All right, and he nods and he walks towards the kids, and to himself he's thinking these kids are gonna have a lot better imagination than her.
You'd be surprised how insightful children can be.
Oh yeah. uh, yeah. So these you approach these kids and kneel down, and they appear very similar in like visage. They look like fraternal twins, very close in appearance, but not quite exact. Um, and this little redheaded summer Eldrin elf boy, you speak to him, and he says, you ask him this question, and he says, "Well, my grandpappy told me that there was this powerful guy. He had a lot of spells and stuff, and and he was mad cause cause somebody didn't want to kiss him no more, and he threw a tantrum." And his sister, "Yeah, yeah, that's what we were always told. But I hear sometimes we're out playing late at night, and I hear noises coming from it. And Grandma said that it's probably just wild animals, but I ain't ever heard no possum sound like that."
Thank you, kids. This information is much appreciated. Now I have a story for you. And he shares the story about the ship crashing and then the team the next morning going below and salvaging the supplies for the crew.
They sit in rapt attention, unable to break as you. They love these stories.
Love Bucky.
Thanks. And that's gonna be it for me. Sorry for stealing the floor.
No, you're the bard. You're supposed to be the personable person. Oh yeah, that's D&D. All right. So is there any particular business anybody wants to address after Bucky has done his little investigation?
I can't think of anything.
I know when we all meet back up, that's if I get the chance to speak first, that's what I'm saying. Because I'm just gonna share all the information I've gathered.
Yeah. So Bucky, you actually, as you guys are finishing up eating your meal, Laji and Rauren are still going at it, drink for drink. There's probably like 6 tankards down now.
Do I need to make a con?
Yeah, I was about to ask for it. And Bucky, you at this moment, as Laji's draining his 6th tankard, re-enter the. I forgot what I called it. The noxious something.
Oof. 6 for my con.
Oof. Yeah, that's no bueno.
Oh, you drunk.
Noxious player.
I might not even be sober enough to decide to lay on hands.
Yeah, no, you're pretty far gone. I mean, these are like 2-pint tankards. Like you've had a lot of ale at this point. You know, you're inebriated very harshly. You'll be poisoned until you save out of it.
Oh, damn.
Okay.
So yeah, Bucky, you walk back into this little tavern as Laji drains his 6th tankard and is kind of swaying in his seat.
He's just gonna address the crew and explain all the information that he gathered. Nothing like specific.
Perfect. So, you guys have your meal. You speak a little bit more, and you see Kieran step in through the doors. Just kind of lean in, scan around the room, lock eyesight with you all. Walk over and say, so I've been looking about the town. It seems that they export mostly root veggies and some other, like cabbages and such, around here. And there's not really so much for us meat, but we have plenty of dried meat right now. We could probably stock up on food here, but so far as other material supplies, I don't really know what we could get off of this island. Between you and me, it looks like their fields are a little barren right now. A little bare right now. Sorry, my words ran together. Bare, not barren. If you all need me, I am going to see what I can scrounge together and stock the ship. And he waits for a moment for anyone to respond to him before heading out the door.
Bucky is gonna give him a summarized version of what he literally had just finished explaining.
Oh yeah. Akara?
I'm trying.
I tell you what, Hakara, why don't you hold that thought? Think about it. It seems like a pretty decent time. It's about 9:30. We're at a pretty decent low energy stopping point. I would hate for us to get to something more high action and need to stop. So, how about we call it for the night? Does that feel okay with you?
Fine by myself.
Awesome.
Sounds good to me.